Isekai shows hold theoretically infinite potential. Anything can happen. So should you watch Skeleton Knight in Another World? Let's get right to the bones and talk about it. One evening, our main character fell asleep while playing a game, probably some RPG. And suddenly, he wakes up inside the game as his character Ark, the Holy Knight. He rationalizes it pretty quickly and gets into the spirit of adventuring. He tries out his skills and starts having fun right away.
確かこうワイバーンスラッシュ
And he even figures out that he can use skills that weren't originally within his direct class, making him very happy. Well, he starts to get hungry, so he moves towards the next town, only to remember that he picked the skeleton avatar, and that could lead to some misunderstandings. So he decides to keep his helmet on, and since he doesn't have money either, he goes to the mercenary guild to get his license, effectively becoming an adventurer, truly following the Isekai script. After a long day of work, he finally gets his reward, a succulent meal that really does look delicious. And with that, he intends to just live the normal life of a newbie adventurer in a small town, doing small quests, experiencing the adventurous life, and having fun and all that. But that changes when he encounters a mysterious woman that turns out to be an elf. They run into each other now and then, and in the end, they work together to save captured elf children. Well, that leads to them teaming up to get to the root of this whole slave trade, and results in them traveling all around.
アーク、あなたを今ここで雇うことは可能かしら?
Skeleton Knight in Another World is a isekai show, and it's one of the have fun types. It has plenty of silly comedy and doesn't take itself too seriously. Of course, when the events are serious, the show is as well. But overall, it's a fun time, and you won't be depressed watching it. It's all about a guy waking up in a fantasy world and being really hyped about the fact that he woke up in a fantasy world. Overall, it's a fantasy isekai show about adventure with some action and comedy, and as of now it has 12 episodes in one season. The characters are the heart of any story, so who do we have in this one? First is the MC, Ark. He's a transmigrator in the title-giving Skeleton Knight in Another World. He played a game, fell asleep, and suddenly woke up inside of the game. Shocked to find that now he is a skeleton, because that's the avatar he chose. He is very strong and can use all the magic skills his character ever had, and he's real hyped about that. All in all, he's like a giddy kid that got one of his biggest wishes fulfilled. He is mature enough to grasp just how crazy the situation is, but he loves every moment of it and he revels in it. And why wouldn't he?
間違いなくこれはゲームではなく現実異世界まだまだ試したいスキルもあるしまだ見ぬファンタジーとも出会いたい明日からのクエストが楽しみだ
He gets excited whenever a fantasy event happens. Like when he sees an elf for the first time or when he realizes he can do magic, and it's just always fun to watch. He has a rather outgoing personality and he is fun to be around because he gets very excited and shows it. And even though others, especially children, easily get scared by his massive form, once they get to know him a bit better, he usually gets very popular. And personality-wise, besides being a fantasy geek, he is what you would call a foodie. He gets very happy whenever he sees new food and wants to try it out, and usually it's as good as it looks.
コアビーフの串焼きケンニジマスの塩焼きシェンの木の実のピザそしてディエント名物ハニービールいただきます
But you might ask, where does the food and drink go? But does that really matter? Fully decked out in mythical class armor, he is a force to be reckoned with and effectively unstoppable. even though he totally lacks any sword practice because he is, after all, just a guy from our world. But if we go just by looks, he's basically a medieval space marine, especially with those shoulder pads, and he has the intimidation of one. In the background of the character he wrote that he was cursed, so one of his goals in this new world is to find a solution for this curse. But of course, if we had just a main character that would get boring, so we have two main side characters.
我が名はアーク。流浪の傭兵だ。こっちはポンタ。我が旅の友だ。
The first is the spirit fox Ponta. Apparently their kind can feel malice and evil, and befriending one is a good sign that you are a good person. So when other characters see Ponta around Ark, they usually trust him fairly quickly, because spirit creatures are a good guide to personality. Also, Ponta usually mirrors Ark's crazy movements, which is funny to look at, so I like it. And the other one is the dark elf Ariana.
私はアリアン・グレニス・メープル。エルフ族の戦士よ。
She's a fighter, and a strong one at that, in pursuit of the missing elves who were captured and sold. She believes it's her mission and her purpose to save them, and she had trained her entire life for that purpose. She's a good fighter, though not as good as her sister. She's a good fighter, though not as good as her sister, and that eats away at her. After running into Ark, she's suspicious at first, but fairly quickly requests his help after he proved that he's willing to help. She has a problem with humans, but seeing the spirit fox around was enough to overcome that in this special case. She is usually serious and purpose-driven, but she can't withstand when it comes to Ponta's fuzziness. And who can blame her? I sure can't. The music has a real adventurous feel, and it makes me feel nostalgic for the old Monster Hunter games on PSP. It has this vibe and I like it a lot. The animation generally is a mix of 2D and 3D that reminds me quite a lot of Overlord. Overall, it's nice to look at, and they only skimmed out on the scenes where you don't really mind that they did. Overall, the quality is high in the animation department, and the voices are as well. Especially Ark. You can hear his excitement whenever something fantasy happens so clearly, and it's great for the mood. Both the intro and the outro are spoiler free. The intro has a very good, very strong adventure feeling. And it shows the characters doing crazy adventure stuff, and it hits the vibe of the show well. I also liked the song and the energy it had. In comparison, I wasn't quite as much of a fan of the outro, but it's also fine as it shows the characters. With a rating of 7.14 by about 180,000 people, I would say it's above average, but on the lower scale of above average, according to their ratings. It has 126 reviews, with 53 of them being recommendations, 42 being mixed feelings, and 31 not recommending it. Most of those not recommending it are, from what I have read, either that the show is a bit generic and characterization is shallow, or that it's an Overlord clone and people not liking it because of that. And it's fair if you don't like it, because it is rather similar and heavily inspired by Overlord. But I think you should take it for what it is by itself. After all, as they say, there's nothing new under the sun. It was made together by Studio Kai and Hornets. Studio Kai made, among other things, seasons 2 and 3 of Uma Musume, which are pretty damn good if you ask me, and also made some other stuff, so they have quite a number of shows to show for. Hornets, on the other hand, has not made too much yet, with only 2 other shows, but both of them are rated pretty good. If you like isekai shows with humor that don't take serious topics too seriously, then I would say you are the intended target audience. So, is this show worth watching? I say yes, you should watch Skeleton Knight in Another World. It is not the greatest show ever made, but I had quite a fun time with it. And while it is inspired by Overlord, I don't think that's a negative by itself. After all, everything is inspired by something. But does that land it a spot in the top 9? Yes, it does, and I would actually rate it quite highly. Personally, I'm just a sucker for isekai shows. They offer infinite potential, and in the end it just comes down to whether the writer is good or bad. And I say he didn't do a bad job. It's a fun adventure and I got what I expected. And what about similar shows? Well, the clear recommendation for a similar show is Overlord, for the simple reason that Skeleton Knight was heavily inspired. It's gritty and darker, but the premise is the same. A man plays a game and suddenly wakes up inside of it. Now he has to find his purpose and a way in a new world. Alas, things are quite different as he is now a skeleton and can do magic. And where Overlord is the serious recommendation, the more comedy and lighthearted one is Konosuba. It's about Kazuma, a standard nobody average guy who tried to do something good and got hit by a tractor, but not really. Either way, he meets the goddess, who commends him on his attempted good deed and offers him a second life in a fantasy world. Too bad that she wasn't really nice with him while doing that and ends up getting dragged along. The show then follows his escapades with his useless goddess, while trying to figure out how to earn money and get himself a place in this new world. And with that, we are yet again at the end. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did you subscribe. If you have any recommendations for shows, leave them to me down in the comments, and who knows, maybe I'll watch it. Until next time.